Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, the official Wycombe Wanderers podcast in partnership with Virgin Media. On the show this week, we'll hear from Jasper Pattenden and the gaffer following the draw at Adams Park on Friday night against Bolton Wanderers. We'll hear from the Trotters fans too in the opposition view. Plus, Beverley Eames joins us for Til Death Do Us. But first, let's head to Mexico City for the final time this year to get the full Liga Juan results and some Chairboys Spanish with Uri.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. It's me, Uri, and here are the results for League One. Cambridge United 0, Huddersfield Town 4, Stockport County 2, Peterborough United 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, Bolton Wanderers 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Wrexham 1, Lincoln City 2, Reading 0, Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 4, Blackpool 0, Stevenage 0, Burton Albion 1, Exeter City 2, Mansfield Town 1, Rotherham United 0, Northampton Town 0, Charlton Athletic 5, Wigan Athletic 2, Shrewsbury Town 2. So this is the final podcast of the year, and all we have to say in Chairboys Spanish is Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. How do we say Merry Christmas? Feliz Navidad. Feliz, Merry, Navidad, Christmas. And Happy New Year. Happy, Feliz, New, Nuevo, Year, Año. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad y próspero Año Nuevo, and hope the Wycombe Wanderers go to the Championship League. May all our wishes become true. Back to England with my amigo Filiberto Cachepollos. Until next year.
Cheers, Uri. Magnificent as ever. Right then, Jasper Pattenden and the gaffer spoke to us on Friday night after the full-time whistle against Bolton. Gaffer, a tough 0-0 draw. What was your take on the game?
Yeah, I was actually really proud of the way we played. I thought our identity was there. Loads of the parts of the philosophy that we want to be on show were there. But unfortunately for us, it just wasn't quite that final touch tonight. We created some good opportunities, loads of moments in the final third, but we just, unfortunately for us tonight, didn't quite take one of them.
Bolton had changes at the back, but defended very well tonight.
They did, put bodies on the line, blocked lots of shots. Again, we knew that off the back of their result last week that they were going to go and fight for the manager and for their football club. But I was just really conscious of us imprinting ourselves again on the game. And I have to, put on record again that there were some moments that we had to clean up, of course, but we got to the final third lots of times, just didn't quite take one of those moments.
And Bolton, a dangerous team as well, and at the death could have nicked it.
Yeah, they could have done. I don't think we can come away from the fact that they've invested millions of pounds in their squad, huge sums of money, and Ian's done a fantastic job over a number of years. Lots of forwards that they've invested heavily in and rotated them and brought two on near the end. A couple of long throws from Randall. We knew that they were going to use that tonight, and an opportunity at the end from 20 yards out. But Franco was very calm and dealt with it as he needed to.
Yeah, it was big celebrations with Franco at the end there. It was some save because it came at him late and it was deflected.
Yeah, and I think the boys appreciate that. With a lot of the forwards have got a lot of plaudits this year, and rightly so for the amount of goals we've scored. But Franco's been crucial in loads of moments for us to make sure that we've, if we weren't going to score and win the game tonight, we had to make sure that we respected the point and held on to it, kept the back door shut. So, yeah, lots to be proud of, I think.
The scoring runs come to an end, 25 consecutive league games, which was some run. I guess it had to come to an end at some point, but a 0-0 draw is the best way, I guess, for that to end.
Yeah, and I think if we look at it pragmatically, Mansfield, we had a last-minute winner from Lukey and we're all ecstatic, and I felt like we played a lot better stuff tonight and imprinted ourselves on the game better tonight than what we did then. So we can't just judge ourselves on results and goals. It's about the process and the performance. Look, the goal-scoring run was going to come to an end at some point. We're up against very, very good opposition, a huge football club with great following behind the goal, and we have to respect the point because, like I say, up against a good team, and we played well.
Dan Harvey suspended tonight, but Alex Hartridge stepped in and played well.
Yeah, I just said it outside. It was nothing more than I expected. Alex is a very good footballer. We did a lot of work to bring him here in the summer. We knew there was going to be a slight adaptation period because he played left of three at Exeter and playing centre half at the start of the season. But as a fullback, I think he's been excellent. And it was obviously disappointing to miss Dan tonight, but Alex was very good.
And last home game of this calendar year and some calendar year, a chance to reflect on 2024 here at Adams Park. Yeah,
I said it to the boys in the change room after the game. The first game here, Bristol Rovers on New Year's Day, we were very, very good, won the game, and I thought that although maybe we didn't quite hit the heights today of that performance, I thought we weren't far off. There's been lots of good moments. Really enjoyed our calendar year here at home, and I was so proud, watching the boys play second half. And I know we didn't have those final moments, and we wanted to win the game, but the crowd were right behind the boys. Thank you for them for their support. It was a great atmosphere inside the ground, and I just wanted one of those to go in so we could all enjoy the moment, but it wasn't quite to be.
Jasper, a 0-0, a night for defenders, but a good game.
Yeah, no, a good game. We knew that they were going to be a good side. Granted, they've had a tough run of fixtures, but they're a good team. They've got a good squad. They're up there and thereabouts, so we knew it was going to be a tough game. 0-0, one definitely for the defenders more than the attackers, which is strange for this Wycombe side. But no, obviously delighted to keep a clean sheet. It's just a shame we couldn't get the winner in the end.
Bolton defended very well at times, and they had to as well.
Yeah, look, we had a lot of ball in their box and around their box. Granted, probably didn't create enough chances as we'd have liked to, but yeah, fair play. They defended very well. A lot of shots, blocks, a lot of crosses that the keepers come and dealt with, and we blew, but just couldn't quite get that winning goal tonight.
They also had a threat about them as well, and right at the death, they were a real scary moment and a great save from Franco.
Yeah, I think obviously one moment you're like, no, give us one more minute to go up that end, and then 30 seconds later you're like, oh my goodness, blow the whistle. But yeah, look, we always knew they'd have a threat going that way. They've got some good players in those areas, and yeah, they had a couple of moments right at the end there, but Franco with a fantastic save and some good defending from us as well.
I guess it had to come to an end at some point, but the goal scoring run for Wycombe Wanderers, I think they've scored in a game, it goes back a long way. It had to come to an end, so I guess a 0-0 would be the best way for that run to come to an end.
Yeah, of course, you always want to keep scoring goals. You never want that run to end, but if it is going to end, you'd take a 0-0, of course. But look, we pride ourselves and we get a lot of attention on what the boys do at the top end of the pitch, which is rightfully so, and they get all the credit that they deserve because they're fantastic and they deliver week in, week out. But the boys at the back as well, and that all the way from Franco and all the goalkeepers and the whole back line in and out of the team, put a lot of work in, and we pride ourselves on that. So obviously we're delighted with the clean sheet, but would have been nice for 3 points tonight.
And from a personal point of view as well, you're really loving your football here, aren't you now? You can really see it, smile on your face. Yeah,
I absolutely love it here. Like I say it all the time. Anyone that asks me, I love it here. I love the club. I love the fans. I love everything about this club. And we're going in a really, really upward trajectory at the moment. It's amazing to be a part of, and obviously it helps when I can contribute on the pitch and give everything for this club, and that's what I want to continue doing.
We've turned you into a right back, and you've really made that position your own of late.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give a couple of props to my old manager, Adam Hinchwood. About 4 years ago, he said to me, I think you could do well in the EFL at right back, and I didn't think too much of it, and then came here and sort of found myself playing in a wing back position to start with, and then did a job at right back on a few occasions, and then in this system right back really suits me and I really enjoy it. I'm someone who likes a personal battle on the pitch. I like to get one up on my opposite number, but also gives you that opportunity in this team to get forward and have chances going forward.
I was going to say as well with the back four, but the system we play, we see it with Dan Harvey, Alex Hartridge tonight, but the full-backs play a huge part in moving forwards.
Yeah, the gaffer says it a lot. Look, the full-backs are massively key to the system we play. A lot of teams want to press us high now and get numbers over one side of the pitch, so we know if we can smooth the game out and find one of the full-backs on the other side, then we'll get some joy as well. And obviously Dan not played tonight. I thought Al was brilliant tonight in that position and getting forward and contributing up there, and those relationships between full-backs and wingers have been fantastic for us all season.
And there's cover in every position. You've got the club captain there, banging on the door as well, waiting to get back in.
Yeah, of course. It's there's a lot of competition for places, and it's talked about a lot. I mean, the depth of the squad and the quality of the squad is incredible. When you look at sort of players who are on the bench, you look at our bench, and then you look at players that aren't even in the squad. It's remarkable. But yeah, obviously it's great to play. And Jack has been, I want to put that on record, absolutely unbelievable for me. He's the best guy ever. He's a real driving force. Obviously, he's the captain of this football club, but that doesn't mean he needs to be as unbelievable as he is. But he really is an unbelievable role model, and I've learnt so much since my time here, and I'm continuing to learn off him. And he's been fantastic with me, and I'm really grateful.
So everyone has to be on their game, on their toes, but we've got a lot of football to come as well in this next 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of home games coming at the start of the year too, so it really will be a squad game, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's when the quality and squad depth will come into play. You see the fixtures and how many games you've got coming up, especially here. The whole squad will be needed, and the gaffer keeps reiterating that, and it's true. So yeah, everyone's got to be ready and will play their part.
Couple of away days coming up. Stevenage, not too far to travel. It's not like Exeter last year, so a local away day, be a good away following as well. And Boxing Day football is what it's all about, isn't it, in this country?
Yeah, Boxing Day football is massive in this country. It's such a tradition. Fans come down, try and get some air after their Christmas days and maybe wear off their hangovers a little bit, which is nice. So you get good numbers in the gate, and it's always a good atmosphere, and people have that festive spirit. So yeah, very much looking forward to that one.
It'll be a big game as well, and Wycombe Wanderers at the sharp end of the table at this stage of the season. A lot of the pundits now having to sort of reassess what they thought of Wycombe Wanderers at the start of the season to where we are now. When you get here at Christmas, it's real, isn't it? Yeah,
look, it is real. We deserve to be where we are. Results and performances show that. But look, we know what we want to achieve this season. Of course we do, but we're also taking it one game at a time. We don't want to get ourselves carried away. We want to go one game to the next, keep winning, keep performing. And we know if we do that, the end of the season will take care of itself.
Well, Jasper, happy Christmas. Enjoy training. We'll see you at Stevenage.
Yeah, happy Christmas, guys. Enjoy.
Great to hear from Jasper and the gaffer. But what about those opposition fans? They travelled in great numbers down from Bolton on the Friday night before Christmas. And here's what they thought in the opposition view. HMX.
A tremendous defensive performance from us. Wycombe definitely fluffed their lines, but that shouldn't take anything away from our bravery and tenacity.
Ali.
Aye, we defended well at times, but we weren't playing Real Madrid for goodness sake. We were playing Wycombe Wanderers. We shouldn't be taking defending well at times against teams like Wycombe as some sort of big accomplishment.
Evesy.
Point's a point, I suppose. The times we did decide to pass the ball to each other instead of aimlessly oofing it, we looked half decent. But you don't get promoted rocking up and hoping the other team don't play well. Evatt, no doubt, will claim some master plan, but giving the other team the ball back consistently and hoping they do now with it, surely ain't a plan.
Get him gone.
It's mad how far standards have slipped. Fans saying how awesome we were. Give me a break, for pity's sake. We scraped a draw against a team that finished 22 points behind us last season. We didn't threaten them at all.
Owain B1.
I think I'm not wrong in saying Bolton are the first team this season to keep a clean sheet at Wycombe. So, big props to the whole defence, especially Forrester, who defended superbly against one of the league's top goal scorers.
Andy C.
I thought Wycombe just about shaded a tight game, but luckily they wasted a few chances that they created. The referee gave some bizarre decisions for both sides, but let some really blatant fouls go too. Quite a good game though. It kept you on the edge of your seat until the very end.
Vivid Dreamer.
Tonight showed me that the standard of this league is extremely poor. Especially if Wycombe have now somehow gone 18 unbeaten at the summit. the Bolton of last season, which is not too dissimilar to this season in terms of personnel, would have dismantled Wycombe tonight. And that gives me hope that we will eventually click.
Rob.
There's no chance Wycombe stay in the top two. They were woeful against a totally patched up Bolton team tonight.
Jed.
That were a good point. Oh, people keep complaining it was only Wycombe. But, as bad as you might think they are, they keep getting the results.
Craig.
Wycombe are top of the league and drew against a promotion rival tonight. We are 7th and last week got spanked by the 19th placed team. Wycombe will likely go up with Birmingham, whereas we will likely lose in the playoffs. If we even get there.
Drac UK.
Much more fight shown tonight from us. You can see that we are a long way behind Wycombe in terms of quality, pace and physicality. So, that was a great point, that.
There's been a rumour that there's a new lightning-fast player in town, and I can confirm these rumours are correct. Virgin Media is here and is guaranteed to be a crowd pleaser. If you're tired of your broadband giving you the blues every time you want to do something, fear not. Virgin Media are right here in Wycombe and have brought their lightning-fast full fibre to the area to keep you entertained in between matches. Tuck into as many live sporting events, movies, games and tunes as your heart desires. Not forgetting our podcast with unlimited downloads on Virgin Media's intelligent Wi-Fi. All delivered at the speeds you need to keep the whole house happy. And the best part is, you don't need to wait until the next transfer window to make Virgin Media your favourite signing of the season. Find out more at virginmedia.com or drop into your local O2 store. New customers only, eligible Virgin Fibre areas only, subject to survey, network capacity and credit check. Supporting a football club is like a marriage. Your club is there for life through the good times and the bad. We ask Chairboys fans for their most cherished old memory, their current favourite player, the best borrowed player we've ever had, and for something blue, we talk club merchandise. And joining us this week, Wycombe Wanderers fan Beverley Eames. Bev, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Very good indeed. Thank you for making the effort.
For you, always.
Obviously, this is the before the Bolton games. We've got the Wycombe Wanderers Santa hat. Lovely.
We have. Only for you, the new one.
Bev, I've got to know you recently in the last sort of season or two.
Yeah.
Where does your Wycombe Wanderers story start?
So, my story, I suppose, my proper story starts about 5 years ago, but there's a backstory even to that. So,
okay.
Trevor, my partner, who I've been with for 13 years, he's the true Wycombe fan, and he was a Lokes Park boy. So, when we first got together after about a year or so, I think it was like we came to see Hartlepool. Get stuffed 5-1 from Wycombe, but I didn't get the bug for Wycombe then. But I've always loved football. And 2019, end of November 2019, I took Trevor for his birthday to go to Ipswich because we lived in Norfolk. So I suppose the pair of us met in Norfolk. So I took him to see Ipswich away and loved it. And I think that's where I kind of got, it was top of the league. Very, very reminiscent for now, and so kind of that's where I it started. Then of course 2000, and that's end of 2019. So COVID then hit, and Trevor had moved in with me during COVID, and I lost my dad, and we obviously we were on the television was going into the playoff finals and everything like that. So of course I had with flags up all at my house, had all our t-shirts on, and just fell in love with the club. And just from then on, I've just become, you cut me open, I'm true blue all the way through. So yeah, it was from them. So I always say I came for the glory and stayed for the Wycombe, because they all tease me. Every time they tease me in the bar, it's kind of like, oh, do you remember? So I was like, oh, it's before your time, isn't it? And I get a bit jealous because I missed so much history, but we're making history now, different history, but I love it.
Absolutely. A lot of fans get a bit snobby, like, oh, you know, if you weren't there in 57 at Wembley, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're not a true fan.
You wouldn't know, because like you say, you are an absolute fanatic.
Yeah. Well, I've got every bit of merch. I think it's like the shop in my house. I got and we'd go home and away. I mean, Trevor was always not. Oh, we won't go away games. And I thought, I used to, when I was younger, travel up and down the country watching ice hockey. So I know what that away feeling is. And so we go to a couple. And now, as you know, we go to, we're up and down the country watching home and away. So we're always at every home game. We originally started travelling from Norfolk to here, so it used to be 7-hour round trip when we first
for a home game.
Wow. Yeah. So when we first came, as I say, five seasons ago, that was our first season. So our first season was COVID season, so we made one game, which was Coventry. And because I'd said to Trevor, should we become season ticket holders, because we'd been travelling down from Essex to Essex from Norfolk to look after my dad and my mum for about 6 years, and said, well, we've been doing most of that journey anyway, why don't we become season ticket holders? It's like, oh, that's a big commitment. I go, well, we'll do one season, and here I am.
Famous last words.
So so we moved to Kent partly to be nearer the club and to be nearer my family, but so that's love it, and made so many friends, and the atmosphere here is, it's such a family club. I mean, everyone says it.
Family is the word, because you've almost got your own football family now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've got friends, and I'd say you've got acquaintances that I've called match day friends. You just see them on match day. Then we've got like that extended bit that we go out, and then we've got kind of even more extended than that, where I would say if there was no football, we'd still be friends for life, which is lovely. And we're going to Christmas at Mark and Deb's so we've been invited there, and that's all because of the club, really. That's the friendships that we've built, and I love it. I mean, I'm quite a sociable person, believe it or not. And
Unbelievable.
I know you're shocked by that. I know you're shocked and stunned. So that side appeals to me very much. But love it. Love all the friends we've made, and really, just a great time we have here.
Well, welcome to Til Death Do Us Part, because I've been very keen to get your memories on it. And I know it's only been 5 years, but as you've mentioned, quite a busy 5 years. Yeah. So, something old. Your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory? Yeah, so I was having a little think, since you asked me, kind of what was it? What has been my favourite one? Because I instinctively went for the one that will be, but kind of there's been things like Lincoln Away. I can remember singing, Scone and Chris Fiorino, chanting that for the last 10 minutes at Lincoln Away. Cambridge away when we beat them 4-1, and absolutely stunning game. When the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. So I was trying to run through all the different, I'm not very good at remembering games, but I was trying to remember all the games. But ultimately for me, the highlight of the 5 years is it's split between the home and away leg. So you're going to know exactly what I'm going to say, which is that the MK, the semi-final before we got to the final in the for the league to get us into the championship. No, that wasn't for the championship, was it? It's for Sunderland at Wembley. Yeah, we would have got
to the championship.
Had we won against Sunderland, we would have got the championship.
So they didn't end quite so well, but those two games, they were our finals. I mean, the atmosphere here, and I loved them both for different reasons. The atmosphere here was absolutely outstanding. We had a packed, I don't think you could get a ticket. Yeah. I think it was the atmosphere here, and then going away, I don't think any of us thought that we would do it. I think I held my breath for the last 10 minutes, and Joe Jacobson's touch of that ball to clear the ball. Just Stocko's saves, everything about that. I think I held my breath for the last 10 minutes, and was every man like this. I think I kicked every ball. I think I did a Gareth Ainsworth and kicked every ball and headed every ball. And just the atmosphere and the getting through to Wembley, which I said wasn't quite so successful at the end.
But and of course the away leg, you had a lovely view of the pitch because you were stuck up in the gods.
So
for the sporting advantage.
Exactly. We gave all the sporting advantage they deserved. But that was great. And it was great. It was a great away game. Anyway, it was a good game. regardless. I mean, we lost that game, but you would never have known we'd lost that game. You'd have thought you'd have thought it was a Wembley game, and that's, to me, it was just, the atmosphere was great.
Describe it when the whistle went in that game, because obviously it had been backs against the wall for the vast majority of the match. So when the whistle went, it must have been a relief, and then I guess the party vibes.
Yeah, I think it was just relief. I think we just kept looking at each other thinking, I can't believe we've just done that. I just can't believe. I can remember the boys coming down to our end of the pitch and just sinking on the floor, and I think Scowen sort of went, the heck happened there? How did we do that? And I think we all sort of felt like that at the time. It was just absolute relief, and then, as you say, it's just party vibes with lots of cheering and songs about going to Wembley, which was great. And it was still a good day out at Wembley, but that was our final, really.
I was sat next to Nick Freeman, who was on co-coms.
Oh yeah.
And all through the second half, he was incredibly calm, saying, "It's fine. No one's going to score against us. It's going to be fine." And so I felt quite calm, but then. Afterwards, I sort of looked back and went, and that was a ridiculous game. Yeah,
it was mental. Absolutely. I'd love to go back and actually watch the game again, I think, because I haven't watched it for a long time. Because I just think it was like save after save after save, and you kept thinking, in a minute one of these is going to go in, and that was from about minute 20, I think, wasn't it? And I can remember Gareth Ainsworth in his post-match speech kind of saying, well, we had to change where we was gonna. That wasn't how we was going to play. We was going to play with with an attacking threat, but we just had to defend, and defend they did. I mean, that was always what Gareth did best, really. So, 100%. That is my most favourite memory, I think, since I've been here.
A fantastic entry into the Death Do Us Part Halls of Fame. Right, on to the current day. Your favourite member of the current squad, something new.
Yeah, so I was having a little think, because actually we've got such an amazing squad, and my favourite role, I think, will always be my favourite, but I kind of was trying to look at, does anybody surpass who my favourite actually is? I think you already know who my favourite is, but I obviously not excluding you, obviously excluding comms, and have to get that in. And so I look at Joe Lowe probably comes a very close second. I mean, I think he's a lad that sees that game. I think it sometimes is difficult to appreciate his age, and I think you forget how young he is. And I definitely forgot how young he was when we was at Swindon, and this chap walked past me, and I said, "Oh, you must be Joe Lowe's brother." And he said, "Oh, thanks." And he came up and gave me the biggest hug. I thought, that's nice. He went, "I'm actually his dad." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." And since then, I've bumped into him a few times, and he says to me, I'm Joe Lowe's brother, kind of. So that's, so you do forget just how young he is, I think, because his ability is, and you can see he's been around a footballing family, that is, but he is my very close second, but my top is GMAC, 100%. I will never tire of watching him run the right wing, never will I. When he outruns some young 20-year-old, and we just love it, because and you cannot believe where his energy comes from, how he does it, and he's the nicest bloke, nicest chap. GMAC for me, 100%.
He's got style as well, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, and that's before he takes his top off. I did tell him that once. I said to him, "You are my favourite player, and that's even with your top on." But he's but he's just he's genuinely a lovely bloke. I mean, I can remember when we was at Wembley, when it was a Sunderland game, and I watched him jump the sidings, whatever it's called, and run to his kids after we'd lost, and just give them the biggest hug. And I got right choked up, because it was just, and then that is it in all of our players, really. They're all just lovely guys, really. But for me, both his football ability and the niceness, is always my favourite.
He's 37, and I can't see any signs of him slowing down.
No, I mean, not.
If anything, he's looking fitter and sharper than This
has probably been his best season since he's been with us. And some of that, I think, is because we don't play him 90 minutes every game. I mean, he is being, rotated around. So, and that probably does help him, because, as you say, he is 37, but he is not going to ever slow down. I mean, I think he'll just stop one day. We'll be about 80, but that would be about it. I think he'll still be here, running the right wing.
Well, he's a very popular choice, Gareth.
He is,
I think about 4 or 5 entries ago on this, someone suggested he could be the next James Bond.
Oh, Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah?
I could get into James Bond if Gary McClure was going to be there. Yeah, but yeah, no, I definitely, yeah. I could see him in a black, with his little bow tie.
Black tuxedo?
Yeah.
No shirt though, obviously.
Obviously, he's never going to wear a shirt, is he? Let's be fair. He don't like a shirt.
There we are. James Bond without the shirt, 0037. Perfect. Right, on to something borrowed now. Favourite ever loanee or player you'd wish we'd signed?
Yeah, so this for me was a story of two Freds. But I was then told very reliably by Trevor last night that since the first Fred wasn't actually a loanee when I was my first season, he was actually our player.
Yes.
And I thought he was I'm sneaking him in because actually I thought he was a loan player.
Well, he started as a loanee.
He did. The season before I think he was a loanee, but kind of my season, to be fair, he was our player. We had to go and look. He had to go and look it up and prove to me and show me that I was wrong. Put that down in his little book for him. Not the day I was wrong, but so Fred Onyedimna would probably be in the second one's Freddie Potts. I mean, absolutely, you know, Fred Onyedimna. Even now, you come back and you can just see that element of class. You can see he's played at the higher level. And I think that's like GMAC as well, isn't it? But you can just tell they've just got that extra something. So Fred was always my favourite up until we got Freddie Potts, and I just fell in love with the lad. I mean, you never fall in love with a lone player, I know, and but he will go on to do some amazing things. Again, you can tell he comes from a footballing family. He's just got that air about him. He knows he can read a game. He understands the game. And you know, some games that, you know, as a young age as he was running that line. You know, he and just unbelievable player for me, I think. And so he would be my absolute favourite.
You could give us some good insight here, because a lot of loanees settle and they become part of the squad and they become part of the team, and we all fall in love with them, and that isn't the case in football normally. Because you're relatively new to the club, what is it about the club that enables players to do that?
I don't know from a player perspective, but certainly from a fan perspective, it's the ability to interact, I think, with the players. It's the it is very family orientated. I mean, we haven't yet mentioned that I sponsor you, but very disappointed by that. But you know, nowhere I think in the history of the football is the comms, you know, sponsored, and it's that sort of thing. It started as a little joke on Facebook, and then developed.
I thought it was a joke, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
Then it actually happened.
And then that's where we were. And think these little things like that, and I kind of go, oh, that's only at Wycombe would that happen. And I think it is just by, you know, the mentality, I think, behind the scenes in terms of the boys. I mean, you can tell what Gareth Haynes was a great manager, and Blooms has picked that up and still runs with it. I mean, people come here, I think they feel wanted, they feel loved, they feel, you know, there is that interaction in the car park with the fans. They feel that bond. You know, we've got a small club, it's a small pitch, it's a small stadium, and I think all of that does help. You know, you all just feel part of something, and certainly I think at the minute we all feel part of the progress, and so that's great. And I was chatting with Freddie Potts when at the sponsors meal at the very end of the season, and I said to him, I look forward to in 20 years time when you come back to play on your way back kind of out, and he said he'd love to come back here. He didn't really want to go, but he realised for his own footballing ability, you know, he was going to have to progress from beyond us. And
we'll be in the Premier League then.
We will be in the Premier League then. I'll take that. It can come and play for us on the way back down, way up, sideward move. But yeah, and he was such a lovely young man as well. Because you just mentioned before we came on that you know we both came from Romford, and I found that out at that meal, and I kind of went up to him and I said, "Oh yeah, you're an old Romford lad," and kind of, you know, that's where I came from. He gave me the biggest hug, because, you know, he's been out at Wycombe, and you're not going to find anyone from where you live, and so kind of we were chatting about where we lived. I was like, oh, it's my old stomping ground, here, there, and you know, we both went to the same senior school, obviously only a couple of years apart, but so, and all of them sort of things, it's really, you know, and actually it was really nice. I felt quite an affinity to him, I think, in the end by the time we went. So, you know, we do kind of look out for him when he's, you know, playing for Portsmouth, and looking forward to seeing him.
I was going to say, we might see him soon. I know FA Cup depends if he's got permission to play. I'm sure he'll be here either way. It'd be good to see him. You'll be man marking him in the car park,
I will do, be spotting him out.
Well, brilliant. Right, on to something blue. Now, your idea for some merchandise. Now, you're obviously incredibly well qualified for this question.
All the merch.
What are we not selling in the shop that we should be?
So I was trying to have a little think, because this was the bit that I thought, oh no, this is the bit that's going to really stump me. I've got no imagination whatsoever. I love a bit of merch and I buy it all. But what have? And I think sometimes we do miss just some of the obvious things. It's like the kids' ranges of things like bedspreads and all of that type of really basic stuff, actually, that I think would go, and it gives fans that interaction, the youngsters interaction. They've got all their bedroom kitted out, rather than the London club, they've got their own club. But that was quite an easy one. So I then had another little think, and so I've got two, if that's okay. I think one may have already been, but I couldn't remember. So a board game of some description. Does that?
No.
I think we ought to have like a Wycombe Wanderers board game. Where sort of like your play characters are the managers. So obviously the game starts with a fight over who's going to be Martin O'Neill and who's not going to be Tony Adams, and they kind of move their way around. I don't know all of the ins and outs, but they move their way around the board with various like clues and quizzes and little bits and pieces, and see who gets the Premier League first. And kind of, so that was my
Wycombe Wanderers the board game. I like it.
Wycombe Wanderers the board game. Yeah. And my second one came because anybody that sees me on the coach will probably tell you that they tease me because I always take my pillows. I take a nice big pillow with me on the coach because I like to have a little nap when I'm travelling, if I go on the coach for the far away games. And so I recently just bought myself a little small one because it's a little bit more compact. And I thought actually something like that would be brilliant with the little Wycombe Wanderers logo on it, or one of the blow up ones we take on holiday and you have around your neck, something like that. I think they would do, because everybody that travels on the coach probably have all got these sort of things. So that would be so that was my two little bits there.
On the coach, obviously, for somebody's away trip, you're on there a long time.
For some of those, So we tend to, obviously because we're from Kent, so we tend to travel, most away games, but it's only really the ones that are, pretty far. So when we do Wigan and Blackpool, we've done on the coach. Yeah, and it is, you'd want to be comfortable.
Blackpool was a 5 a.m. departure, wasn't it?
Yeah, we stayed over the night before. We didn't travel here from from Kent before. That was like, otherwise we may not well have gone to bed the night before. But we do. So some of the really far ones, and I'm trying to tick off a few more of the games for the different grounds for away games this season.
All right, I'm thinking about the board game now, because obviously a couple of years ago the board game would have been called How Do You Play This Every Week? But obviously we need to go up with the new title now, so we'll get thinking about
somebody who has a far better ingenuity than I have, because that's just I'll come up with the idea, I could trademark the idea, but someone has to come up with the rules and the game and all of the back history. But I definitely think that would be a great addition, as we go along.
Yeah, a Wycombe Wanderers board game, right? Well, the geniuses in the commercial department will get their thinking hats on for that one. Well, Bev, this has been brilliant, and great to get your story.
No worries.
And what a future you've got.
Can I finish with something?
Of course you can, yeah.
So this season, as you know, we lost in our group. We lost Aaron Lockyer, who sadly took his own life. And I've always been a big champion of mental health, and continue to be so even there. So just really want to, and if anyone is struggling at this time of year, it's such a tough time of year. With Christmas, winter, and everything. He's talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to family. Better still, talk to a stranger. If anyone ever wants to talk to me in the car park or anything, come up and talk to me, because it's so important, and I'd hate to lose another one of my Wycombe family. So our forever chairboy Aaron, So thank you. But I have we have got all the best to come yet, I think, as well in the league.
Yes, absolutely. Well, happy Christmas.
And to you, sir.
And come on, you Blues.
Come on, you Blues.
Brilliant. Right, that's it for this week's show and for this year. Many thanks for your continued support through 2024. Ringing the Blues, in partnership with Virgin Media, will be back for the Exeter game, first week of the new year. Until then, happy Christmas and come on you Blues.